Alright guys, I've got a little bit of a confession to make.
5 miles per hour.
So the Bas Boat conversion video was more well received than I expected. I get more comments on that, I feel like, than anything else. And I feel like I've kind of let some people down, and I want to make it right. So let me back up a little bit. After we made part one, I had extremely high hopes for that thing. Like, I was really jacked up about getting that boat on the water, getting it decked and all customized and looking nice and running good. And about the same time, my sister, who had been living on my property in her Airstream, realized that her trailer was leaking really badly. Okay, so she needed a spot to park it. The only spot that I had to park it big enough for her Airstream was where the boat was. And within that same week and a half, I had a guy reach out to me and offer to pay me for my steering wheel on the boat what I paid for the entire boat. Couple that with the fact that I had done a compression test on it, and I was two of my cylinders were not holding or not making really good compression, so I really felt like I was going to have to replace the motor or overhaul it. I had an opportunity to get out of it for what I had into it, and my sister really needed that spot, and I didn't really want to work on it or park it out in the rain when I was trying to rebuild it. And so I sold it, and I'm not happy about it. I said I was going to do part 2, part 3, and I gave my word, and I didn't do it. So fast forward to today. Ever since that time, I felt bad about it. I felt guilty. I wanted another opportunity to do this, and that was like 6 months ago. And I've been looking almost every day for another, just that right opportunity, and nothing has came up. But today, and I don't believe in fate. I guess I don't believe in fate. I don't really believe in things just aligning in such a way, but I got this new hat, Bass Pro Shop hat, last week, and I've never worn it until today. And if I didn't just stumble upon an opportunity to do a new Bass Boat conversion, I don't know. I believe it might just be the Bass Boat that I've been waiting for. Now, it's not guaranteed. I'm on my way to look at it now. This lady has kind of put me through the ringer. So she had it listed for $450. And I kind of inquired, didn't show a whole lot of interest. You know, I've been kind of busy. This afternoon just kind of freed up somehow, and she lowered the price to $250. And so I said, hey, I think I want it. I asked some questions. She couldn't give me much feedback. It belonged to her father, who has now passed away. She doesn't really know anything about it. So I said, well, it's probably worth the look. And I said, can I come look at it, you know, this evening? She said, no, can't show you this evening. And I've got another guy coming to look at it at 4 o'clock. I thought, son of a gun. And so I went back to ask her if I could see it sooner, and she had marked it as sold. Oh, sorry for the bumps. And I thought, dag nabbit, I missed it. No big deal. Well, then like an hour later, she messaged me saying, hey, can you come see it now? I guess the guy fell through. She said, come look at it. I've got another guy coming to look at it too. So now I'm meeting the seller and another person out there to potentially, hopefully not fight over it or, you know, run each other up on price. So who knows? But I'm on the way. I'm feeling good. Got my Bass Pro hat on. And I think that we're going to take this sucker home. It's been sitting a long time. But it's got titles. The motor and the boat both have titles, which is something I didn't have on Woody. So this is a good sign. If I could snag this boat, trailer, and motor for $250 with titles, I think that's a win. So, I'm 11 minutes away. I'll show you what she looks like when I get there. Well, I got her. Are you wondering what it is yet? It is a 1976 16-foot Baja. I don't know. It's a little bit different than the original project boat. We're gonna call this Bass Boat Conversion Part 1.5. We're gonna audible a little bit, and all we're doing is just kind of changing the foundation. That's it. Don't, you know, here's what's different. This isn't a tri-hole. This is kind of like a shallow V-bottom boat, but it's got the same split window, seats in the front, seats in the back, really very similar. It's got a 105 horse Chrysler, or they call it the Chrysler 105, I guess. I think it's actually 85 horse, or at least that's what the title says. Maybe it's not the original motor, I'm not sure. But you know what else it's got? It's got trees growing in it, just like Woody did. So I think we're gonna call this the Woody 2, or Woody I don't know what we're gonna call it. The tires actually held air. This thing has been sitting, so the last boat was sitting for 11 years. This boat has been sitting longer than that. I don't have a clue how long it's been. The tires are extremely dry rotted. I have 16.7 miles to the house, and I'm just gonna try to ease her in. I feel like I should have my vice grip garage hat on, trying to get this thing home, because I'm just expecting something to go wrong. But we're almost there. When I get home, or when I break down, I will show you around and give you a tour. She's pretty cute. Oh yeah. That's her. Or him. He's an old woodsy find. The Baja. '105 Chrysler. Not sure what Charger means. It's been so long since it's been on the water that the tags and the stickers are all worn off. You think that was maybe an 08? Maybe an 09? Maybe an 00? 2000 maybe? Well, we're gonna take her to the car wash and start cleaning her out. So it's a little early to be doing things like cleaning and spending time and money on it before we've gotten down and then made sure there were no, you know, catastrophic problems with the boat or the motor. But I just want to peel this off. I just feel like this would be really satisfying to blast with the pressure washer. So we're just gonna hose her down a bit, and then we're gonna take her out to the woods where she belongs and where we will finish working on her, and we'll get her stripped down like we did Woody #1 and see what we're working with. Maybe even pop that cover off, see what's under the old power barn. I'd say it's a little different. Boy, howdy, she's winking at me over there on that side. That's what I'm used to. So what do y'all think? I actually think this may be a better bass boat conversion candidate than what we had before. I think it is actually considered a tri-hole. I thought it was a shallow V-hole, but the title mentioned tri, and I can kind of see why it does. So this is actually same era, same overall design, same overall condition as Woody 1.0. but I think kind of the shorter profile will lend itself to be a better bass boat than the other one would have. I just like the lines a little bit more. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this junk out, and we'll see what it looks like underneath this rotten wood and carpet, and then I'll probably wrap up this video. Part 2, we'll either do the decking. Nope, we're gonna look at the motor first in part 2. Make sure it's not gonna give us the bad juju. I'll make sure to wear my Bass Pro hat that day. All right, let's jump into it. So there's a little bit of crap in there still. I need to get a shovel and a broom. And I need to get, that's just a carpet piled up. It is full of rainwater and soap from the car wash. So I'm gonna let that dry out a little bit, and then I'm gonna yank it out and dispose of it properly. But yeah, it's her. What do you think? Think this little girl's gonna pop off? You gonna run? Probably not. Look at them cables. Yuck. There's the junk. I think this is where we're gonna end it for now. I wanted to get into the motor, but I think we're already coming up on 10 or 15 minutes, so we'll stop here. A few things I want to point out to you. Not as much crap in this boat as the last one. It's really just the deteriorated seats and some carpet. There were a couple miscellaneous parts, but nothing major. I would like to point out, can you see that dust cap bearing cover? That is a Coca-Cola can. Ingenuity at its finest there. I also left a small patch of real moss and dirt to kind of remind you that that's what it used to look like. So I'm gonna leave that on there for a little while. We will hopefully get to work on this a little bit each weekend, and if we can get the motor checked out and the motor working, then we might just go take it on a test ride, go put it on the lake just to make sure she floats. There's some cracks in the hull, probably superficial, and I would rather this thing sink in the lake before I put a bunch of time and money into it. So we got to make sure she's water worthy, but all in all, she looks pretty good. I'm gonna try to catch so many fish out of this thing. Okay, part 1.5 officially over. Part 2 coming up, and it won't be a year.